Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of F Stop Live. Okay, I can say another, but it's been quite a while. It's been quite a while since we actually got through this segment and we were able to obviously get in touch with people and to reach out through our live streams. But we are back nonetheless. So, wherever you are joining from, the usual, please just drop me a comment in the comment section. Just say hi, tell me who you are, tell me where you're watching from, and I will definitely give you a shout out. That is a promise. Okay, so just drop me a comment as we go along. But for today, we've got a really awesome segment that's going on. We've got a brand new brand ambassador that we are going to have our discussion with. We spoke to him. It was last year on the 24th of February, so it's exactly a year since we had our last F Stop Live with him. I think we did have one more before after that, but we this so the first F Stop Live that we had with him was a year ago, a year and a month. So now he's actually a brand ambassador. So he's worked his way up in the ranks. He's done some amazing work this year, and we will get the chance, and I will give you the chance to be able to pick his brain, to be able to see exactly what it is that he's doing, how it is that he's doing what he's doing, and how did he get to being obviously the brand ambassador that he is today. So it's going to be an awesome segment. See, we've already got Juan. That's from Pretoria. We've got Jason. What's up, Jason? Thank you for watching. We've got Dalwin as well. Dalwin McLennan, thank you so much for joining. And before we go any further, and without any further ado, we're going to introduce to you Carl Daniels. Firstly, a round of applause, a round of applause, a round of applause for the amazing work that you've been doing this past year. If people don't know you by name already, then something must be wrong, because then they're surely not tuning into Godox South Africa. But Carl,
Exactly.
thank you so much for joining me once again on F Stop Live.
It's a pleasure, man.
Can you tell me what's the last year been like for you?
Busy? No, it's been quite a journey. As I said, sometimes it feels like it's been longer than 12 months, and then other times it just feels like it's shot past in a blink of an eye. So I think with the passion that I have for photography, I think it played a big part in having passion for the tools. And when I actually switched over to Godox, it made my life so much easier. The support was there, everything was there. It was actually a pleasure. So I then just started blurting out Godox all over the place, and then eventually you hooked me up on a show. Then it just went haywire after that.
I think the best part about it, and we were speaking about it recently, is the fact that I looked at your work and I saw how amazing the work is, nonetheless, but also your love and passion for the brand, and that's why I reached out and I was like, hey, can I get you an F Stop Live? And look at it, as they say, the rest is history. But yeah, the rest is history. The rest is history. But look at you now. You're flying high. You're doing really well. But I think what we would like to get into it for the viewers, apart from, I'm going to obviously just be showing a quick presentation. In fact, I'll just put in the background over here, I'm going to go through some of your images. The reason why is I'd like for the people to obviously see exactly, who it is that we are dealing with. We're not just dealing with anyone. We're dealing with a professional, yeah. And while this is going on, obviously, we'll have our discussion. But yeah, I see you shot Ansel, yeah.
Yeah. So I've done a couple of shoots with her. She's actually very cool and very good in front
Stunning
of
model.
camera. Yeah,
she's absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning to the camera. Yeah. So you've been with us with Godox South Africa for the past year. I think it was shortly after we did our live that we got you on board, and you took on the role of an influencer. And what was the important tasks that you had as an influencer? What would you say is is the role of a Godox SA influencer?
I think building relationships in the industry, not just on the client base, but I think a lot with the photographers. And I think even before the influencer stage, I think it was affiliate that I was making
Affiliate,
contact with
yes,
photographers in
affiliate.
the yeah.
It actually started off as an affiliate. Yes, it started off as an
Yeah.
affiliate. Yes.
So yeah, so I was just then started connecting with other photographers in the area. Some of them invited me to go through to their place, check their setups, help where I could on that, give advice, and then from there it just started growing. Then I started making more connections with other photographers, and I think that to me is probably one of the biggest things because a lot of photographers sometimes like to just don't want to let you into their space. And I think to actually have trust with other photographers that you're not there just to steal their business, there's more than enough for us all. But I think that to me was the biggest part is to actually be a part of the people who use the product or who are going to use the product. And I think that's where I sort of started out on the journey.
And then over from the affiliate program, you were then obviously
Mm.
promoted to an influencer. What was your role as an influencer?
I think it was. I think from that I carried on, obviously from the affiliate side, getting in contact with guys. Then I actually started showing exactly what the product can do. So I started doing some workshops at the studio. Some were free, some were paid, and just basically showing what the product could actually do and what you can actually do in such a small space, what you can do in larger spaces, what you can do outside, what you can do in studio.
Hmm.
So it's like literally just letting them have hands on the product that I've got and letting them use it. And eventually people then just fall in love with the stuff like I did. So
I think I think the one of the biggest things that we faced obviously as being part of the Godox team, and it's not so much of
mm,
obviously the fact that yes, you have to build brand awareness, you have to be able to work on the ground, you have to be able to, reach out to photographers. A lot of the people want to know, like, how is it that you become a Godox SA brand ambassador, or how do you become an influencer, or how do you become, like, how do you start off? How do you get the attention of a big
mm.
brand like Godox South Africa? What would your advice be? If I was a newbie, or just
Um,
another, maybe not a newbie, maybe I've been in the industry for a while. This is the brand that I shoot with. This is the brand that I love. How would I get these kind of guys' attention?
I think with what I did was even before I even joined the program, I was just posting because I had such a love for the product, and I think the product just making my business a lot easier. I was just tagging Godox SA, um, almost getting in their
I can,
face.
I can even tell you which product it was that you were pushing so much. You were always talking about the 8300. You was always talking about the 8400.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
those were the ones that I kitted out in studio. So we got rid of the other stuff, and we just did everything Godox in house, and took the 300s and the 400s, and I haven't looked back. The rest is history. But yeah, I think anybody out there, if you're using the product, push out your content that you're shooting with the product. Tag Godox at Godox SA, hashtag them, get in their face on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you can find them. Just tag, and believe me, they'll start to take notice. And if the work is good, then they'll start to take notice, and before you know it, then you can move up in the ranks. As I said, affiliate, influencer, and finally, 12 months later,
Ambassador.
ambassador. Yeah,
The craziest thing is that people think that, just the ambassador role is just where people get free gear and you get to shoot with all the gear
yeah.
you
I
want and you
wish.
get paid. And it's not all about that. It's not all about that. And in fact, it's not
Uh-uh.
about that at all. because this what we do based purely on the passion that we have for what we do.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I'm
Yeah.
a photographer. I love the fact that I'm an influencer and I'm involved with people decision making into getting into lighting, getting into camera gear, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it where people
Yeah.
have to contact me and ask me for advice. Where you put yourself out there and you're like, yes, no, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. Because at the end of the
Mm.
day, you've been through those experiences and you have the sort of knowledge that you have to be able to
Mm.
assist people. And
Yeah.
being a brand ambassador is not all glitz and glamour. Not all glitz and glamour. And I'm sure you can see
A
that
lot.
now. But
Yeah.
a
It's going
lot
to be
of
a
hard
lot of
work.
hard work.
A lot of hard work. Just a quick one quickly. We've got Pagamani that's also joined in. Thank you so much, Pagamani, for joining in. We've got Luad Hussein. Luad is also a brand ambassador. He's actually mentored me for many years. Thank you so much for joining, Luad. We've got Andrew. Thank you so much for joining, Andrew. Hi, Godox users.
Awesome.
so, so yes. So I did see that you've been busy with quite a few shoots and stuff like that. And in fact, I noticed you're doing a lot of stuff with that projector of yours.
Yeah. No, that's one
Hence,
thing.
hence, hence the next picture.
No, I actually enjoy it. It's something that I wouldn't mind getting my hands on the new BFP. That should be quite interesting. That thing, but this is the SAP and the SA17. But on the
Yes.
400s, it works absolutely amazing.
Have you tried them on the
Even in my
300s?
little, I have with this two bracket
Uh-huh.
and punting. If I literally are pulling the light far back in the studio, then it just about has enough power. But the 400s just kick it nicely, and I don't have any
Mm.
issue with the 400s pumping at one over one power.
And you've got enough of a spotlight.
Yeah. No, I mean the 400s I find actually works very well. Plus, I like to use my 300s for my key and fill lighting anyway. I like those little lights. They're amazing.
We've we've got Adam that just put up a quick comment, and I just want to address that quickly. Adam, thank you so much for joining in, and it's unfortunate that you got no data and it's load shedding. However, the episode is recorded, and if you do go on later or even tomorrow, if you go onto Facebook, if you go onto on YouTube, you will find it there. All right, so it's recorded and
Okay.
it's saved there, so you can actually check it at any given time. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining, Adam. Right. Yeah, sorry. So you were talking about that SEC, the projector. And I know
Yeah.
your work is,
So I
you've
mean
really been busy with this one, eh?
yeah, no, it's almost on one of my 400s all the time.
Are you serious? So you just keep it on
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah.
people, I'm
There's
just I'm just I'm just toggling through the pictures so you can see exactly how
so that
amazing Carl is.
that image was just one 8300 Pro with a beauty dish. So that
Stunning.
was yeah. So I mean the 8300s are really awesome. I mean they're really cool.
No,
You can do
I'm
so
sure they're
much with
awesome.
them.
It's not like I own four of them. I'm sure they're awesome. I'm sure they're nice lights.
Yeah, see, I converted you.
Exactly. When we first spoke, I was moving around with 8200s and an 8600. I got rid of all
Yeah,
of those, and now I've only got 300s. And I don't intend on owning other lights except for maybe continuous lights and stuff. But yeah, I've been enjoying
yeah,
it. Yeah. So the work has been amazing. I've seen obviously all of the stuff that you've been up to, and
mm,
yeah, Ansel again. I've seen the stuff that you've been shooting, and you've been using some really nice lighting. I know recently as well, you did a shoot with the new set of lighting. It was continuous lighting. Am I correct?
yeah. That was really weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was very weird shooting with continuous lights. I mean, I've been shooting strobes for many years, and it was like literally okay. I've now set the power and everything on the actual lights using the Godox light app. And then you click and you're expecting this flash and there's nothing. It's like really weird sort of
Yes, yes.
setup. But I thought I'll give it a try, and I did a couple of images that I actually did with strobes. I replicated it with continuous lighting, and then I did a full 2-hour shoot on a fully charged tubes, and they literally just died just after the shoot. So 2 hours is pretty cool.
Just a quick one for those people that are watching. You mind telling the people how you lit this up?
Okay, so this was two 8300 Pros with the ADR14 with the gels on. So we had the red and the blue. And then literally I had my 8400 with the projection unit. And then I actually used the actual, what do they call that? I think the SA7, I think it is. It's the actual, just the slides that you slot in there and you can actually
So with that
position.
the spiral slider, yeah.
No, it's not the spiral one. It's the actual sliding in on because the SA17 and the SAP doesn't have those blades in, so you have to get the
Oh,
blades
okay.
separately. I think they're the SA7.
Separate.
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and using those, so shooting with that and the projection, then you just put a couple of those blades in, and then you make sure the projection is hitting the disco ball to give a bit of a
Sparkle of light,
flare
yeah.
with all the mirrors. Yeah, so that was how we did that one.
No, it's absolutely stunning.
And that was also the blades.
I think this is what I really enjoy when you're shooting. I think this is a recent post that you put up as well, on how it's actually quite finicky. You got to get it right. You got to get it right.
You got to get it right, and I think Jean-Marie is actually on the chat at the moment. So yeah, we took a couple of images.
She is
trying to get that shadow right.
I did see her there. Thank you so much for joining us, Sean. By the way, you are absolutely stunning here. So.
So we were just trying to get the shadow right, and she is actually a dancer, so she holds her poses very well. But yeah, it was it took about, I think, 6 different shots to get this shadow right.
No, these are stunning. Absolutely stunning. How did you get this?
So 8300s, smoke machine, ADR14s, and then I had I think it was a 400 with the S85S softbox as the key light.
With the grid.
So that was. I did have a grid on, so it was just narrowing it down and sort of the spread of light.
No, this is absolutely stunning.
I like smoke and gels. There's something about smoke and color and gels. It's cool.
And I noticed with your logos, the logos has now changed, eh? Brand ambassador.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I've had to change that.
No, but that's actually awesome having you on the team as a brand ambassador. And this is one thing that I actually wanted to get out there, especially to the people who are interested. And this is the fact. The fact remains is we are an ever-growing team. Godox South Africa, I think it's one of the most involved brands when it comes to getting involved with the community, getting involved with the people on the ground, people on the floor. I think we in fact hold the biggest team. I don't think there's a bigger team than what we have, which is a fact. And apart from the fact that obviously we are big, they are quite involved. They get involved with each and every one of the people that are participating in the program. And we're always looking for new talent. We're always looking for people that are pushing the bar. We're always looking for people that love the brand itself. I'm talking about the brand itself as Godox. if you're always reaching out, if you're sharing our stuff, if you're interacting with the Facebook page, if you're interacting with the Instagram page, if you're shooting with the products, if you're taking behind the scenes, and if you're tagging Godox South Africa on Instagram, on Facebook, and constantly interacting with the brand, I think you stand a better chance of obviously being noticed. You stand a chance of obviously being able to, link up with one of us, one of the ambassadors, or one of the influencers, or one of the people that are on the ground. So I know, in fact, we did actually welcome two more members recently, to the Godox team as well. So they've come on board recently, and you're going to see a lot of their work and stuff like that. They're on Instagram, and also they're doing some really amazing stuff. I'm definitely going to have them on board shortly. Maybe in the next few weeks or so, I'll introduce you to them, so you know exactly who they are and exactly what they're doing. But we'll definitely have them in. So Carl, any tips with regards to social media and how these so-called or photographers can obviously get into better standing? And next up to that, I'll ask you another question. Any tips? Carl? Okay, I think the feed has gone a little bit funny there. Yeah, so you can see some of his amazing pictures that he's put up recently. So Carl has really been doing well. And as I said, in fact, he's joined on. He started up as someone on the ground. He started doing the work. He started obviously putting out the posts. He started getting involved with many of the initiatives. So it kept on going. And if you look, if anything, I would suggest, if you do want to get involved with Godox SA as a brand, if you do see yourself as being able to offer something to the brand, I would suggest maybe people go and look at Carl's Facebook page. Go look at Carl's Facebook page, and you will see exactly how serious it is that you've got to be able to be a brand ambassador. So Carl is always posting. So
Yeah,
how many
always.
posts do you how many
I think-
posts how many posts do you average a day?
Yeah, it's probably maybe 5, 10. I think Gabe was mentioned on one of the groups. He says every time he logs on to social media, he sees something about Godox from me. So
From
So,
you,
yeah,
exactly.
it's
And I see that so often as well. So I think it was actually Gabriel as well. Gabriel was saying that how you are an example. You're an example to all of us on
yeah.
on how it should be. If you are in love with the brand, and if you do want to be involved with the brand, just reach out, guys. Come on, reach out to either one of us. Reach out to Carl. Reach out to Carl, and ask him for advice, ask him for tips, ask him how to get involved with the brand itself. Reach out to me, drop me a DM, drop me a message at any given time. I did see that we also got Henny over here. Henny's actually reached out. Henny is actually one of the better composite photographers that I know, and his work is absolutely amazing. And I think definitely I'd like to have Henny sometime on F Stop Live if he would like to join us. Henny, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're watching us from Kimberley in the Northern Cape. Thank you so much for joining us. If there's any questions, viewers, please, at any given time, just drop us a question in the comments. And what I will do is I will actually look at it every now and again, just so you can ask those questions. So what you can do is ask questions to either myself or to Carl. I would suggest that you ask Carl so that you can pick his brain and find out exactly how it is that he is doing what he is doing. So we've got Candy as well. Candy is a good friend of mine. He's watching from Joburg. Thank you so much, Candy. He's also a Godox user. He uses a lot of Godox lights. He used to use a lot of strobes, and now he's using a lot of these continuous lights for his video work. He's actually heavily into production work. Okay, so those of you who would like to follow Candy, please go through and follow Candy as well. Yeah, so I was asking you a question before we were interrupted by the data loss there. I was saying, is there any
Yeah,
tips?
I
Is
don't
there
know.
any
My
tips
machine
that you would
decided to do an
suggest?
update.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll work through it. So,
Yeah.
is there any tips that you would have to any would-be photographers that would like to maybe get involved with Godox SA maybe? And the main question that I'm asking is, how would they do it through social media?
Well, I think the one thing you got to be consistent. Um, I think that's persistence and consistency is a big thing. And through social
Consistency,
media,
yes.
yeah, because the brand is going to watch you for a while, so they're going to see, okay, how's this person doing? Is they just doing it for a month and they're falling off, or are they doing it for 6 months and longer, and sort of they start to take note. But I mean, other things, social media. As I said, it's being in the brand's face. Um, Continually push out content. Post your images, tag, hashtag, get across all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, I even do it on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is now shot up lately as well. So um, I've got in contact with a lot of overseas photographers who use Godox and stuff. So it's just about networking and just pushing out that content and making Godox SA aware that you are serious about the brand, you're passionate about your brand, you're passionate about photography, but then also I think becoming the ambassador and an influencer, I think it's having the passion, but having the purpose to actually feed that passion. Sharing knowledge. Don't be scared to share knowledge. Don't be scared to actually make time for other photographers. I think that's probably one of the things that's actually brought me out of my box. I mean, I was very introverted before, and I think over the last 12 months through with Godox SA, I've literally come out of this little box that I was actually in, and it's been really really a good learning curve for me. Even that shot was done with just tubes.
Are you
So
serious? So this is one of the continuous lighting that you did recently.
yeah, yeah. So that was
Absolutely,
just that
absolutely stunning.
TP2.
Oh, the TP 200s.
Yeah,
You had four. Am I correct?
yeah, yeah. So I had the four kit. So literally, I had the all four tubes going for the whole 2 hours, and they lasted actually awesome. But it was very very interesting using continuous lights as a photographer. I must be honest.
I've also recently, I think it was maybe towards the end of last year that I also delved into that, and it's been a while since I actually did it, but I used it was the LC500R. It was the LC500,
Hmm.
and then I used the normal SL60 that's currently lighting me up right now. I use
Hmm.
the SL60 as the main. I use the RGB light and the ice light. I used it as a rim, and then obviously the RGB was for the
Yeah,
background, and the results was absolutely amazing. So I can
yeah,
only imagine if you have to use something like a FL150 or something like that, the quality will be absolutely insane. So
yeah,
definitely an option. Continuous lighting is definitely becoming a more viable option now for portrait photography. In the years
yeah.
previously, it wasn't something that people would look at, but now more and more photographers are delving into that. And if you can, go on
Hmm.
the Godox SA page, go on the Godox, so it's just godox.co.za. Go and check out the website and see exactly what continuous lighting is currently available on the market. So some
Hmm.
exciting news coming up with that. So there's quite a few nice lights that are coming out, quite a few new releases and stuff like this. So you can see Godox is really pushing on the continuous lighting side of
Hmm.
photography and video. So just a quick
Yeah,
question as well with
hmm.
you, Carl. What's your take on brand loyalty?
Brand loyalty is, I think, to me, I mean, it's everything. I mean, whether it's a camera brand or a lighting brand, I think to me, to actually give me, well, to for me to actually use the product and actually have that product, to me, I have that passion for it, and
Mm.
therefore the loyalty kicks in automatically for me. Because if, and it's the support that Godox SA actually offered right in the beginning. Because when I did switch over to Godox, I saw that they had the influencers and the ambassadors, and the guys actually get back to you quickly from head office with any questions I had. And just from that, I was sold out. That was it. It was like, all go, get me those lights through. And ever since then, it's like family now. It's literally that family feeling that I get from Godox SA. So the loyalty, it's almost like you have with your kids or anything with your family itself. They've actually shown that type of acceptance, even as a photographer, okay, just starting off in Godox.
I
You
think,
felt welcome,
and this is,
and that
I
was
think this is something as well that many people actually get wrong in the photography business. Okay, so yes, is you can shoot for yourself and be by yourself, and that's fine and well, and I find so many of these people that are that are secluded, or those that seclude themselves from community, because you must remember photography and for videography and any sort of creative space is very much involved in the community, you understand. Businesses such as that thrive on community, and if you are someone that obviously would seclude yourself from community, then and there your business will start to obviously nosedive, and you won't be able to be as proficient at being able to turn over every month. But what I'm getting at is
yeah,
this: is the fact that no man is an island. You understand? No man is an island, and you have to be able to link up. You have to be able to network, and in being able to network, you have to be able to set aside certain relationships that go above and beyond other relationships. For example, my local camera store that I go to will always be the camera store that I go to. And the reason being is
yeah,
because I've built a relationship with them, and at any given time I can call them and they will have stuff ready for me and I can just go and get it picked up. By the way, that camera store is Photo Freedom. You can actually buy Godox SA gear from Photo Freedom, and I love the relationship that I have with them purely because the relationship was built over years. So whenever it is that I needed anything, I wouldn't just go for the cheapest stuff. I wouldn't just go online and look for where I can get stuff from Johannesburg or Cape Town, wherever, but I would go to my local camera store because I built a relationship with them. And likewise with
yeah,
Godox South Africa, with my relationship with Godox South Africa, if I need anything, one phone call away. If I can just go online quickly, you check up on their website. If nothing is available, you can check up with one of their team members. You can check up
yeah,
with Tara. You can just contact her, and she'll be able to always, assist with regards to
yeah,
getting the stuff that we require. So if anything, my relationship has built up with Godox SA so far is such that if there's anything that I need, there's no one else that can provide what Godox SA provides for me. You see, so
yeah,
brand now that's where brand loyalty starts to come in now. You see, so it starts off with obviously having a desire of collaborating and being able to network, and from there it comes to you having to be loyal to those brands and those relationships that you build. And in building with those relationships, now you take it on to being loyal to those relationships. You take it on to
yeah,
being loyal to those brands. And that for me is what brand loyalty is all about. So for example, if maybe I can get something elsewhere, I can get it shipped in, and I can get it shipped in, it's going to be cheaper, it's going to beat the system, and everything looks all amazing when I have the product and it starts
yeah,
working. But what happens when the product starts breaking down and there's issues with it? Whereas if I had to
yeah,
just reach out to Godox SA, if I purchased the gear from them, if I call them to say, this is the issue that I'm having with the product, I can easily send it back to them. It's got a full 2-year warranty. It gets repaired. If not repaired, then they'll sort it out and they'll get it sent back to you. That kind of service,
Yeah.
that kind of service is priceless. So that's where brand
Mm.
loyalty is for me.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's exactly what actually switched me over to Godox SA, because I did have an issue with some lights, and by the time I actually shipped it, got the repair done, paid for shipping back, it would have cost me probably price of an 8400, and it wasn't worth that much. It was like,
Yes.
so when
Yes.
I actually reached out to them, they instantly got back to me, and then I just sort of checked out what Godox SA actually had behind them, and the support was awesome. I mean, it's you could literally send an email or a message to any of you guys, any of the ambassadors, any of the influencers, and they do get back to you. I mean, head
Mm.
office gets back to you quickly. I almost fell off my chair because it was under half an hour, and I got a response back, and and everything was sorted. So it's that type of thing that I don't care if I'm paying more, a little bit more on top of something, as if I actually have that support at my fingertips. That is literally worth its weight in gold for me.
No, true.
It's my business. I
I
need to
think
make sure that I'm running.
so. Now that we've established your role as a brand ambassador, and it's something that's really been amazing to watch, to see it happen over the past year, it's been amazing, honestly been amazing. And your work is absolutely, um, what's this, flawless. Just a quick one. Candy over here is on my case quickly. He says, Sherwin Patha, I
Okay.
didn't know Godox products breaks. Looks like mine are made for life. Truth be told, okay, so I've currently got a V1. I've got a V1 that's now lasting me just going on 4 years. And it's still shooting. It's shot every wedding in the past 4 years. So I don't even want to tell you how many shots that thing has gone off on. And I've never had any issues with any of my gear so far. Um, I did have an issue, sorry, with my 8600 at the time, and the reason why my 8600 there was an issue was because at an open day that I was assisting people, it was a model shootout. I left it unattended for a few minutes. I ran out to go and call someone. When I had come back, the light blew over and the tube actually broke. One phone call,
Ah,
called the guys over at Godox SA, and I promise you, I think it happened. It was that Saturday that it happened. By the Tuesday, I had the tube delivered to me. The tube was on the light. The light was working, and everything was perfectly fine. And that's Godox SA
no.
service. So yeah, these lights are built
Yep.
quite sturdy. All of the gear is quite sturdy, but at the end
Yeah.
of the day, there is a lifespan. Be honest about these things. There are lifespans. These things
Yeah.
last for certain period. They are perishables as everything, even your camera gear, even the lens that you have will degrade over time. Even the camera that you have
Yeah.
will degrade over time. Even these earphones that I have on me will degrade over time. So we won't
I've
lie
been
about
shooting
these.
with these for 12 years now. This
Look
old
at that!
Canon,
Look at
I've been shooting with 12 years. So I got two of those, and
yeah.
I've been shooting them for many years.
If there's anyone that has any questions, please, guys, while we are still here, while we are going through things, I'm going to go into the next segment of our talk. We just wanted to discuss what it was like becoming a brand ambassador, and that's what Karl has done extensively. So you can definitely watch that. So we're going to go into the next segment now, and if there's any questions, please just drop it there in the comments, and definitely we will answer them as best as we can. So, Carl,
Yeah.
as a brand ambassador now, so what initiatives are you currently working on or planning with regards to reaching out to the following, to reaching out to those that are on the ground
Okay.
in your community and then obviously in the
So,
larger community?
so look, I'm going to be continuing with a lot of the workshops that I've been doing in and around sort of work. Literally, whether it's paid or free workshops, I'm going to be carrying on with those. But the stuff that I'm going to be looking at as a new role is probably the live segment for getting to grips. So there'll be things like we'll be doing live shoots, which is going to be quite interesting, and also
You
just
want to tell
things
do you
around
want to
that.
tell the people you want to tell the people about getting to grips, what it's all about, and when do you intend on
Yeah.
starting?
So hopefully, if all goes planned, I'm going to be starting in April. So literally, I've put everything in place. We've set cameras all the way around the studio. We've got the streaming switcher. We've got everything sort of set up. I've been training my daughter how to use the streaming switcher. And literally, we're going to look at live shoots in, say, for instance, I mean, I started off in a 3x3 space shooting portraiture. Okay, and a lot of people are still shooting in a 3x3 space. And I want to just show them what you can actually do in such a small space. I think I've got a section which I've got marked out, which is like 2.7 by 2.7. And with one light, a reflector, what type of portraits you can do. So we'll do a whole live shoot around that, which is going to be cool because we can get many different looks out of one light. So it's going to be quite amazing. And obviously, how do we light this? So I would take, say, maybe some of my images, and I would say, how do you think we lit this, and do a reconstruction of the actual shoot itself. So there'll be things like that showing how to use the equipment, what modifiers, when to use grids, when not to use grids, all that type of information on that. It's just basically getting to grips with the Godox product. Whether we're using a V1 speed light to do a shoot with, or whether we're using an 8300, we'll mix the different lighting models together, and that should be quite cool. So looking forward to
When do
doing
you
that.
intend on having these
It's going to
segments?
be quite an
When do you
interesting.
intend when do you intend on having these segments?
Starting April, I think basically April, and I think it's going to be probably on a Tuesday night at the moment. So
Okay.
I will get some dates together, and we will start doing that and getting on with that.
I
It's
think
going to
that's
be a
going to
lot
be
of fun.
exciting. I think that's going to be
Yeah,
exciting. So that's almost a midweek show. It's almost a midweek show. People
yeah,
come back on a Tuesday, they'll be able to tune in and learn something. So apart from the fact that yes, we do have this segment that where we discuss things and we're getting to, the knowledge of things and getting into, understanding why people do what they do, the business side of photography and, understanding social media and all of those things that are with regards to, the knowledge side. So you're going to be going on to the practical and understanding how to shoot, why you shoot, how to use the product,
yeah,
how to optimally
yeah,
use those products, and so on.
yeah, yeah. That's exactly, and I think that's what I actually enjoy doing. I mean, in the workshop, in this one last workshop, I think I mentioned to you just before the show, where we actually did the beauty headshot workshop, and I sort of gave a whole background of what's involved in shooting beauty headshots, and then sort of gave about four demos, and then we broke just to have a bite to eat and some refreshments. And while they were all upstairs having their refreshments, I came down to studio, took all the lights down, put them off to the side. So literally, they came back to a bare canvas, and literally they had to then go and physically do an assignment that I gave them, and they had to go and set up the lights. They had to go and position the lights. And then I was just there just to give a little bit of instruction every now and again, but they did well, and they set up the lights from scratch and did the shoot. So it was actually quite a nice way of doing a workshop.
No, awesome. With regard, so that's obviously the getting to grip segment that you're looking at having on Tuesdays, guys. So remember that. Please jot it down. He is looking at it in April. It's gonna be probably on a Tuesday. Obviously, the announcements will go out prior to that. You will know in advance when Karl is going to start the segment. It's going to be product based. He's going to be able to go into each product and show you exactly when to use it, how to use it, understanding which environments to use it, and he's going to be doing more practical. So it's not going to be just like a 1 hour session as we're doing now, where we sit down and have a quick discussion. It may be a little bit lengthier, but if you sit down, if you're willing to obviously learn, Godox SA has been able to put together these sort of channels for us and for the community at large. If you want to be able to learn from these things, tune into Carl Daniels, all right? This next thing that I see that you've also been up to, you've been busy with Open Window, right? You want to tell us more about that
Yeah.
while I scroll through these
Yeah.
images?
So Open Window was quite an issue. So Tara actually contacted me and said, "Do I want to go through to Open Window?" And I think the first one we did was like the Gear Expo. So we literally had a space somewhere in the college there where we had to set up, and I think we got this foyer space which had these big windows side at the back of us. It was so bright, it was quite crazy. And literally, we had to set up a studio section in there. And I thought, well, this would be a great place to sort of, it's nice and bright, show them how you can control light and get nice, dark, moody sort of setup. So that was the first trip to Open Window, which was quite cool. And then we actually got invited back. So the images that you're showing here now is actually the new second years at Open Window. They're in their photography course, and they were just now learning to use off-camera flash.
Hmm.
So
I can
literally,
see,
we actually,
I can see all the off-camera gear
yeah.
of your 8200s and everything that's there.
Yeah. So Josh and myself actually spent a couple of days there. It was 4 hour sessions on the Thursday and then one on the Friday. I think it was on the Friday. And yeah, so we literally I went through a couple of spreadsheets or PowerPoint, just showing them what the trigger is, what buttons are on the trigger. Then we showed them a bit about the lights. I could see the first class, he went a bit over the head. So then I thought, look, we're going to dive into a practical session. Get your triggers out, get your light out. Right, do this, do that. And then we sort of showed them what groups are, what IDs are. So we split them up into smaller groups. And literally there'll be two in a group, two or three in a group. And then I say, right, set them up on the channel. So I did a scan of the channels on my trigger, and I gave each group a channel. And then we sort of said to them, right, set up your trigger and your light to work on your channel, which they then did. And then we said, right, one of you in the group set up an ID on your light, and you set up an ID on your trigger. And then just showed them that even in their group, they could isolate, sort of separate him firing hers and her firing his. So it was quite an insight to them. And I said, look, in an environment like this where you've got a classroom full of people, you're going to be firing everybody's lights all over the place. I think so showing them that, they picked up quite quickly and sort of got an understanding that they could actually isolate just their sort of setup, which was actually very cool. So it was a mixture of lights and a mixture of cameras. So it was 600s, they had the 300s, they had the 8200s, and then they also had the speed lights as well, from the V1s to the 860s. And yeah, so it was a lot of fun. And it was quite insightful. The nicest thing was actually seeing the face of the guys after they actually got it right. And then literally they had to do a practical, go outside, go and shoot. And then they came back, and then everyone sort of voted for the best image. So they had like 10 minutes just to take one of their best images, quickly edit, and then have a voting session. So it was actually very interactive for the guys as well. So these ones
Definitely
were
fun.
actually shot at, yeah, these ones were shot at the Gear Expo. And so that bright area that you saw just now where I was shooting, those images were actually taken in that bright area. So it's just shows you how you can control without using HSS. I managed to control the light. So yeah, it was very cool. And I think that some of
I
the
think that
students, they said, oh, how can you get it that moody with all these windows around? So it was good for them to see as well.
no, the results are stunning. Look at that, absolutely stunning. This was obviously looks like it's later on in the day.
No, so this was a shot. So literally, this was a shot from the camera. It was still bright, and
So bright.
obviously
Oh, okay,
because
so
of my
you
yeah.
darkened it, yeah.
So just from the camera settings and just firing the lights from further back, so we could see what was the setup. So there's the projection unit again. There's the one of my favorite strip boxes, the 30 by 120 with a grid. Um, yeah, so it's and then we just had a couple of beauty dishes there as well.
No, definite.
Yeah,
This looks like it was fun, eh?
one. Yeah, I know it was a lot of fun. I think giving the guys different options that they can do and shoot, and just changing the setup. So I did everything from just shooting with the one projection, having a three light setup, having a clamshell setup. We did a whole load of stuff during the day. Well, I mean, it was a long day, but it was well worth it.
No, definite. So is
Hmm.
what's your next step? What's the next plans? What do you have planned next?
Definitely, I think planning these live shows are going to be it's a lot of work. I
As you
think
can see, this isn't a joke. You can see this is quite serious work. This, yeah.
yeah, so
This
it
is
it
quite
takes a
serious
lot of
work.
a lot of time. So I mean, I'm going to be concentrating on a lot of that. And then, yeah, I mean, if there's any more of these open windows in these colleges, I think more and more colleges, I think Damon did mention, have actually been reaching out. I think it's quite cool to actually go through and show the guys what the kit can do and what you can do with it. Um,
Mm.
I mean, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that to me would be very cool to get involved with, as well as the live shows, and then just carry on posting and shooting and run your business.
No, definite. So, is there any advice that you have to other photographers? It doesn't have to be about, Godox say. It doesn't have to be about lighting. It doesn't have to be about becoming a brand ambassador, but just advice, just maybe a nugget.
Um, for me, it's actually to stay connected to other creatives, even if they just do video or if they do whatever. Just stay connected, because it's so easy to sort of get into a rut. I mean, I've been there before and literally had to come out of it. But stay connected with other photographers. If you stay connected and always hearing what people are doing, it actually drives you, and and you get your passion back. Because if you are doing this as a job and it is a passion, sometimes it can be very difficult. Um, but literally stay connected to people. I mean, my WhatsApp. I mean, I've got a lot of photographers on my WhatsApp. My Facebook is there. Just connect. Drop me a message, and literally, if you're going through a bit of a slump, just connect, and we'll get through it together. I mean, I think that's the main thing. Stay connected with other people in the industry.
I think
Don't
other
be scared
creatives
to
and
reach out.
people, I think people that are like-minded and people that have also been through the same sort of situations,
Mm.
creatives have a different mind altogether. Our mind
Yeah.
is constantly racing, patterns, lights, styles. It's constantly you can't even go shopping without looking at something and be like, hey, that's how the lighting pattern was done. That's how it was shot.
Mm.
So we've got a different mindset altogether. So I think it's very important, as you
Yeah.
said, to be connected. But
But
Carl, thank you
sometimes
so much for
I think
joining. Yeah.
cool.
You saying? You saying?
But I was just going to say that because we have such busy minds, I mean, sometimes I'll go to bed and I'll be sort of doing setups in my head. I think because we'll be doing consistent stuff in our minds. It actually can cause a bit of a burnout thing. So we've also got to watch that. We've got to sort of plan our stuff. Even though this last year I've been hitting Godox with a lot of stuff, but we've still got to plan and still be sort of have that time for ourselves and family. So it's really the main thing is not to burn out, stay connected, and have your passion, because your passion is what's gonna give you the energies. Because once I get behind the camera, I forget to eat, I forget to drink, and I just shoot, and that's what I do.
I think the biggest thing is, we get ourselves so busy that we fail to realize that there's also time that needs to be allocated towards ourselves, time that needs to be allocated towards our family, and
Yeah,
there's times of refreshment, I would say, and I think if
yeah,
anything, I think I really wanted to spend a little bit more time with that there, and which obviously I had a bit of a break, and I'm back at it. I'm really busy now. I think I'm busier than
yeah,
I've ever been, but there had to have been some sort of respite, had to be some
yeah,
sort of time where I put aside time for myself and time for my family. If there's anyone that wants to have any questions before we tie it up for the evening, please just drop us a comment. Um, Between myself and Carl, we'll answer it, and we'll take it from there. But I am definitely rounding it up now. There's definitely one more thing that I want to talk about before I close up. But Carl, thank you so much for joining us. We'll just
pleasure,
maybe
man.
give a few minutes to anyone that wants to ask a question. Also, just another thing, a reminder, guys. So register for free training. This is training that's available nationwide. So this is something that's going to happen throughout the country. So depending on the area that you are in, what you need to do is go onto the Godox SA website. You'll find it in the comments as well. Click on the link, go to register to the training program that's going to be taking place. What will happen is when there is enough people within a certain area, or maybe even the closest city to where you are, Godox will plan a trip to come out there. So Godox is going to be going through the different cities. They've gone to Cape Town last year. They've done Johannesburg. They've done Durban last year. There were some really good turnouts. People came through and learned a lot about the products and stuff that we have on offer. They learned a lot about the products that they had in their hands, that they themselves didn't know could do such things. Like, for example, that the V1 and most of the speed lights that's on the Godox system can actually fire and control the strobes. So some people didn't know that, and now they do. So register for free. It's absolutely free training. And the moment there's enough people within your area or enough people within your city, Godox will obviously put it on the roadmap and plan a trip to come out there and do or administer the training. So we've got team members, we've got ambassadors. So the light has gone off. We've been almost an hour. We've got ambassadors, and we have influencers, and we've got other ground members and people that are on on the ground throughout the country. So even if it means us obviously activating one of those members and getting them out to come and do some training with you, that can be done. But the moment you register first, go on to godox.co.za, click on that link, click on the free training registration tab, put in your details and register. I cannot motivate that enough. Okay. So we are literally the only brand in the country that offers that. So you cannot tell me there's any other brand that's offering free, absolutely free training that doesn't have some
Yeah,
sort of snag to it. So we're literally the only guys that are doing that. So I'm just going to go into the comment section quickly if there's anyone that has any. Okay, so we've got Henny over there that says, please come to Kimberley. It would be so amazing. I think that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome, Henny. Please just drop that on the registration. Make sure you register. Your work is amazing, by the
yeah.
way. You need to see Henny's work. Yes, this guy is amazing. And I don't see any other questions, guys. But thank you so much, Carl, for
Yeah,
joining us. I really appreciate you coming out. And once again,
that's a pleasure.
congratulations and welcome to the ambassador team. I can't even say welcome
Yeah,
because you've been doing it for so long. You've been doing it beyond the ambassador level for so long. Uh, you've really been working really hard,
yeah,
and it shows. So as I said to the people, if you want to see what being an ambassador is all about, if you want to know exactly what you need to do to be able to someday be an affiliate or to be an influencer or to even be a brand ambassador, go and check out Carl Daniels' Facebook. Carl, would you share maybe your links? Could you maybe tell the people where they can find
yeah.
you?
So Facebook, it's KJD Photography SA. Instagram, I should probably actually type it in on the thing there. Instagram is kjdphotography.sa, and KJD Photography on TikTok, and KJD Photography SA on LinkedIn as well. So yeah, that's where I am, and then I'll update the chat just now with all the links.
Awesome, awesome. Carl, thank you so much for joining us, and may you enjoy your night.
Pleasure.
Cheers,
Yeah,
cheers, bud.
thanks. Cheers, guys.
Guys, so thank you so much for joining us for this episode of F-Stop Live. So we have started it again. It's gonna roll out. We're gonna have it almost every week. We will send out the announcements on a Monday so that you see exactly who we're going to be speaking to on the Friday. It does happen at 7 o'clock sharp. 7 o'clock sharp on Friday, you can expect something. Okay, so I'm going to be bringing you the freshest content. I'm going to want to sometimes the biggest of interviews for photography during the 2023, we did it. We had those guys here. So some of the most viral content and stuff like that, the guys were here. We had them on F-Stop Live. So it's definitely going to be a fun one. Uh, if you know anyone that you feel has a love for Godox products and their work is amazing, I want you to drop their name in a comment. People that you think I should interview sometime. So every week we'll do that. And maybe one of those lucky guys will be interviewed in the weeks to come. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. And just a quick one. I'm actually going to bring this up quickly just to show you exactly what is the buzz right now. So the buzz at the moment is this amazing little device. I'm going to present it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is the Godox X3. All right, so it's a digital radio transmitter, or as you would call a trigger, that's got a digital screen on it. Okay, so this is actually launching soon, and it's already gone viral throughout most of the countries as well. So in America and stuff, the guys have already started pre-ordering this item, and it is selling out fast. So Godox South Africa has already gone through the initiative of setting up a pre-order system where you go by and you put in your details, you put in your email. The moment this device hits our shore, and you must understand, there are delays at the current time purely because of the ports and the issue with our country and its government. I'm just joking, but yeah, the issue with the ports. So it's been a bit of a delay, and it's not on Godox SA's part, and it's not on Godox part, but this item is definitely going to be hitting the shore. It's coming in at a good price. So if you can, in fact, I'm actually going to get Godox to put in a link. So I'll drop in a link in the comments where you can actually click on the link and go straight to the product itself. So you'll be able to see exactly how much it is. Whether you want it for Canon, whether you want it for Nikon, for Sony, or for Fujifilm, it is available. So all you do is you punch in your pre-order details, exactly your email, I think it is, and the moment the item is available, you will be sent a notification of which you can go quickly and you can purchase your one. All right, so this is one of the biggest things to hit the market at the moment. The size of it and the versatility of it is absolutely insane. The pricing point is beyond anything at the moment. Okay, so guys, please go through, check it out, and if you want to, when you're ready, you can actually use my Godox code. Okay, so you can just click on the link and then obviously punch in Godox Sherwin and you will get a 5% discount. Okay, so yes, so that's the X3, the X3 that's currently going viral. So guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode, and I will see you again next week. Okay, cheers.